Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speed Gaming 2. We've got another match day of the Speed Gaming Live 2024 online creative time randomizer tournament. I'm starting with me on comps today. Is new IT guy? How are you doing?
Doing good.
Got ourselves up Alpha versus Natheirean, two good runners here. Should be an interesting matchup.
Yep. So we got a Ruby start. So that's one less dungeon we're gonna have to dive into today.
And opponents, which is always nice.
Yep.
Not perhaps a required song necessarily, but it is always handy to have because it's nice to open stuff up.
Could also be some logical access for stuff this seed.
Yep. And avoid some potential logical shenanigans with GTG access, for instance.
Yep. Not gonna see a oops all dungeons for burnt or for horseback archery or something.
Yeah, yep, nope. So that one's always interesting to watch, less so to perhaps enjoyed by the runners, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how it goes. And, we should be going here in a little bit. This is the second round of brackets. Here in best of 30 in the 32 single elimination bracket. Alfalfa beat Mr. Mario in round one, and Nath beat Majarkin. So we'll see how they do against each other. The winner of this gets clunked with Sponge of all people next. No offense to Sponge, but very strong runner. It's not going to be a easy matchup there. Although this one isn't either. We should be going shortly. Apologies that we're on the intro scene, still a little bit of technical issues. And we are off.
Shadow Forest. DC
You're
pre-completed. Gross.
Yep. Okay, Fortress, Well, Kokiri, and Domain are Foolishes. Yeah, Shadow, Forest, Fire, and Jabu are required dungeon stay. Which is not the most friendly of layouts. DC being pre-complete is also just kind of annoying because you would like to
Mm-hmm.
just clear that early anyway. Deku being the forest medallion might be nice for a relatively free song. Spirit and Water. Verticac less likely to be required with that medallion layout, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the only way you're getting a burning cack required is if it's like it would have to be Nocturne.
Nocturne most likely, yeah. Unlikely to be Requiem or ZL with Spirit and Water locking that. Technically possible, but very, very unlikely.
Yeah, it would be the first check in water boss key and nothing on
First two
vanilla
attempts.
boss key. First two.
Yeah. And they require a specific Spirit key layout as well.
Right.
An early river play, I think got some choose there for Alfalfa, a little hard to tell due to the small screen.
That is a
Or
milk
no,
bottle.
nope, I'm blind. And look, bottle in lower river, might as well pick it up. Nath on the other side buying a shield. I mean, Alfalfa, if he really wanted to, could in fact go Ice Cavern immediately, and he might be doing that here already, skipping the River Grotto area and heading straight up to Domain, which is interesting as, let's see what Man on Roof has for Nath. Just a Bloopy in Upper River and a Bloopy on the Man on Roof.
Skull
River African
Kid
is...
or
Look, it's a
something.
what there? Chad, did you have any idea what that was? And I also missed the hint in the oh, it's OT as storms. Okay.
Yep. I saw storms. I just didn't see what it was.
Okay, thanks, chat. And nope, Alfalfa is heading back downriver. Gonna check out these Igala area and Sunsong in the windmill. Chicken says the iron boots.
Yay, chicken.
You sound so enthusiastic by that.
Really? I was trying to really show off how much enthusiasm I have for that.
Colossus
to
path
PG.
to PG, yep. Sorry, Virgil. Is that? Are you saying?
So great, Dad.
No, I think I was thinking something else. Can someone check the VOD to determine what the Skull Kid hint was in River? Because I don't think any of us actually managed to read what it was.
We saw Skull Kid, and it was too pixelated to tell what it was. It's not a refill.
So big trust in the Sunsong Grave for now. Producing fire arrows of questionable use.
Yep.
And I think that was a blue bee on the graveyard crate. Oh no, Goron Tunic on Skull Kid. Okay. Thought it looked kind of like a major item, but I couldn't tell what. Neither of our owners are going to be bothering to go after that, but if they happen to have Saria's song on their first trip through Lost Woods as a child, they might go for it, I guess. Fire is a required dungeons. Yes, alright, okay, now we've got the right scene. Or we've got, well, at least a race scene. 30 Skulls is dead as Rudo's letter on Dante, and 30 Skulls is also dead.
Yay.
And strength on battle, Andrew. Andrew apparently just having multiple stuff for us. Irons on child's side, and strength upgrade here.
Really good for our pre-completed DC.
Yep. Yeah, strength one on its own doesn't unlock much since the DC is pre-completed, but it does give us access to blowing up Link the Goron for starters. Looks like now it's going to go upriver though, which also not a bad play, given that strength doesn't really unlock that much. Blowing up Link the Goron only gets you a couple things. Can also trigger the shortcut for Lost Woods. True, right, forgot that. Alright, pay time for alfalfa. Nath just doing river here. Would you go waste cavern in this situation, the IT guy, actually, for Nath? Out of logic, but you don't have a lot of obvious plays. You don't have a lot of things to do as a adult, and it is a song here, which could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to go there to turn in letter at some point. The only caveat is getting into ice right now because we don't have.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We don't have covers. That would be the crowd. Or OCL. That would be the Y. Whoops.
Yeah.
Brain fart. That might be a play we'll see from our runners at some point with letter in the access. Still know where hovers are. We know where the other pair of fleets are, but
yeah, I would imagine that we're going to be seeing ice a little earlier in this seed.
Alright. Safe quit from Alfalfa and Prelude for Nath. This is probably both runners going child. And yeah, confirmed there from Nath also. This Hinton Upriver is that Skull Kid has a Goron tunic for us. The early child playthrough makes sense for both runners. Not a lot open as adult, and we'll say got a lot of early checks in market into Kokiri Lost Woods because actually not Kokiri. In this case, Lost Woods SFM is going to be a bunch of checks. Kokiri is actually Foolish Day, which does eliminate 500 checks.
I still think you peeked Mido's house.
Yeah, in case there's like some bomb shoes or something in it. And oh, speaking of that, nice save play. And just some health.
Not the worst thing in the world to see.
Not the worst. That is one of the better things that he could have gotten out of there. That wasn't just that wasn't bomb shoes. Of course, would have been the most preferable, but our container isn't too bad, especially with required fire.
Bomb shoes, double defense, bigger on sword would have all been in there. That was our burning cat kit, wasn't it? Yay! Yep. Burning cat is junk.
Our container technically, but yes.
Yup.
The Hylia is also path to PG. Interesting. To get two... That's really unusual to get two copies of... Or to get two different paths for Phantom Ganon of all dungeons, which is very, very rare. Still on the Ocarina Memory game, that's our access to Child River, speaking of things. And scale is, and that is a link highlighted path to PG. Could be a scale for that. Choose on Richard. That was a 10 pack for Nats, so alright, nice to have.
Not terrible, but can at least open up some of these skill checks.
Yep, and Requiem on Saria. Lon Ranches game. Why do we have 3 Phantom Ganon paths?
Half bow.
We already have a strength upgrade. And I missed the hit for Nat because I was so distracted by it. Lake Highlight path to PG again. And Deku path to Grenade. But yeah. It is a fascinating collection of PG path hints. Because Forest Temple is one of the lowest item requirement dungeons in the game. There's three different strength upgrades, 3 different bows, 2 different hook shots, and 2 different songs that can be logically relevant to that. So having 3 paths to that place indicates
we are really impressed.
Also, we got a Baronade path, but we didn't get we haven't seen a Wolf path yet. We're almost guaranteed to get a Bongo path, so I'm guessing our hammer locks Forest Temple some way. Or is just otherwise hinted on a check directly, because it's really unusual to get 3 PG paths in one seed, because the game with path hints, for those who don't know, second scale. With path hints, it tries to hint once for every dungeon before hinting any duplicates. And due to the split win conditions in these settings, anything that is on the path to a stone cannot be on the path to Medallion dungeon. So the fact I've gotten 3 Phantom Ganon paths and no Volvagia path indicates to me that PG might have eaten our Fire Temple path. Sorry, Song of the Colossus, and it's Vanilla and no, that's
okay.
Yep.
So
that's
what's
the Yellow Branch.
So what's here?
X2 is dead.
Got a scale. So second scale, because both scales were independent of each other.
Could be scale path to PG for some reason. Saria's Song is going to be the Colossus path.
Could it be 2 scale for lab dive for whatever the PG check is in lab dive?
Very possible. That would make sense.
Tech would do it too.
Yep.
So
Rudo Spot? No, it wouldn't be Rudo Spot has the item because both scales are 0-0 on Ocarina of Memory Game and Talon's Chickens. If it's the scale that's Path and Ranch, it has to be for
2
actually, it has to be the scale because ZL can't be hinted path.
Correct. That's
and nothing was in the tower, so it has to be the scale and it has to be gold scale, which locks very few things.
Yeah.
And actually, right, can't be tech type because irons are available. Good point. We don't have explosives for tech type, but we do have irons available. So yes, you have a point. It has to be lab dive.
Yep.
Okay then. So we might so that still tells me that our hammer is most likely locking Phantom Ganon somehow. Or is hammer is either on PG or is separately hinted on a different check, so it couldn't have been direct path. And then there's probably more than one strength available. Also, this fire tends to be logically strength locked. But it's really, really unusual because there's like when there's like peach copies, because it's very, very unlikely that we don't have a Bongo path in just because of Shadow's high item requirements and it being a stone. Most likely, it's a Wolf path that's missing. Still unusual though, even if one of our Phantom Ganon paths is for Saria's Dog and 2 of the others appear to chain together. It'll be interesting to figure it out. And Spirit Child side is 2 keys. Good to know, I guess, we can do that whenever we get a child ranged weapon. Yeah, Inko, our last path has to be a Bongo one, pretty much. The odds of there's too much required and it's a stone. It's pretty much impossible for there to not be a PG path. We already know where one Goron tunic is. It's on Skull Kid and is available by way of Saria's Song. There's probably a wallet available as well. There's probably 2 strengths available if I had to guess, and then Hammer is walking Forest Temple or Shadow likely to be in that path. Because, like Forest Temple, a lot of the things that can possibly be required for Fire Temple have multiple options. With the exception of the hammer, which would have to either lock a stone or just plain. It could also just be on one of our. It could be like on Skull Mask, which is our missing always, or on one of our sometimes hints we haven't found yet. Because hinting something that's already directly hinted is a little redundant for paths, so it could be that too. But for some reason, Fire Temple, there is no path to Volvagia, which is very odd. There's a ranch path to PG for Nath.
Yep. And we just saw a hint for Sungrave, so those fire arrows can't be a path.
Not particularly relevant with this medallion
Right.
anyway.
Steve Fountain here from Nath. That's interesting. Because Alf was not able to check this. So this could be something big. And it's a bomb bag.
Oh, whoops, I was excellently muted myself. Yeah, that's a
big.
interestingly bomb-locked bomb bag.
Yeah.
That is not one of the bomb-locked checks you can get with a hammer. You do actually need to get bombs or bomb shoes to explode that wall.
Right.
Yeah, and Alfalfa couldn't get it earlier because he didn't have explosive shoes at the time. He does now.
Oh, I thought Alf still had the shoes. He just didn't have to.
He might have.
There.
Didn't have Zero, that's what it was. Where did Nath get... actually, no, just scatter braiding. I'm not sure why Nath pulled the bomb out. Probably a misinput. Remote ground is a new check for Alfalfa. Actually, Nath might be setting up a death warp? Question mark? Yeah. Not sure why he'd be pulling out his bombs all the way there. Colossus path to PG.
Maybe he was like blowing Falco up with bombs. I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure why he would want to set up a death warp, but he is pulling out a lot of explosives here.
Maybe his C button's broken.
Maybe. Okay, that's the Adult Lake hint, which is Adult Fishing and Lab River both dead.
There you go.
Might be buy beans and death up to the top of river. That would make sense. Yeah, Shannock, for why Nath is continuing to pull out bombs. And Field Scrub is a scam. as usual.
You didn't get your money back.
I guess. Not worth much, though. Nat skipped Ocarina Memory Game, yes, so he does not have that gold scale. Hoping to save perhaps just a bit of time since it is a relatively slow check. We'll see how much it matters. Alfalfa's... You can do Lab Dive as Child, and Alfalfa will definitely do that. Ranch is still path to PG. We've gotten duplicates of every Phantom Maiden path for this seed.
Yep, and this is unfortunately where this is going to bite Nath for not having gold skill.
Yeah. Turn in letter, domain's full, so don't need to do the checks. Child fishing is heart container, and letter spot is junk.
I'm going to go off on a limb here and say this is a hook shot.
Hookshot would make sense. We already have a strength, so it can't be that.
And the likelihood of a path bow possible.
Unlikely, yeah. We have very few items right now, so this, whatever it is, it's gonna definitely make a difference. And it's a hammer, which also makes sense, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Speaking of how hammer has to lock stuff, hammer has to probably lock a stone. Yeah, that'll do it. Check it, distill irons. Yep, thank you. Yeah, hammer had to either be separately hinted from the paths on one of our missing sometime / skull mask, or it had to be locking forest temple. And well, it's locking forest temple. We have no logical explosives, so that's probably why we need that hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Fire could have a hookshot though, although we currently have a bit of a problem in that we kind of can't get into Fire Temple. We can blow up Link the Goron, but we don't have hover boots, we don't have a hookshot, and we don't have Bolero. Given the lack of a path to Volve, there's presumably multiple ways into... Either there's multiple ways of it getting into Fire Temple available, or something in Fire is locking Forest. Not sure which. Okay, Nath is back in Lost Woods though, so he's gonna get his Goron Tunic, and then... Oh, one reason why Goron Tunic couldn't be packed for Fire is because it's separately picked even if there are no wallets available. It's that bit of a moot point anyway.
And now, side hopping the right place.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd get it, but it seems like he's gonna do Child Goron City first. Seeing skulls from Alfalfa, not a bad idea with this relatively high start. Maybe he'll die to the hammer for a while, thinks those had a logic bombs. Yeah, that's true, Shannock. I'd expect Nath is also likely to go down DMT to character next to clear up checks and get those iron boots off chickens just in case. Because from Nath's perspective, Nath has no idea where Goldscale is. Nath knows Link has path to PG, so might want irons to a sequence break lab dive. Even if water is technically unrequired right now.
Outrider having a piece of heart for us today. Right, Serenade and make up a
Yeah, okay, yep. Serenade, nice to have. And nothing on the chest. That's a point, though, from Chad, is that even though Nat's gonna get irons here for lab dive, if nothing else, it is gonna be an issue if the hammer locks both hookshots, which is quite possible right now, given the information we have as a restream. Yeah, back to adult for alfalfa. I'd expect probably DC being foolish is really quite annoying because you'd really like to do that right now with a strike and hammer, but nope, it's a pre-completed, so there is no reason to go do that. So I think we probably go up DMT, check out.
I think Ice is probably the better play right now.
Actually, that would make sense, right? That is an extra song, and we have ZL plus Rudos. Also, thanks, Apathy Doug, for fixing the stream layout. We were on a previous year's SG background image for due to technical issues. It seems to be fixed now. Nothing on Tektite Grotto for Alfalfa. And there's Serenade for Nath. Sorry, what's... Didn't quite catch what you said.
That's Redite Grotto, not Tektite.
Oh, Redite, yeah, brain fart, thank you.
I knew what you were talking about. Just in case people aren't new to, or are new to watching this, we don't want to... Those are Redites, not Tektites.
No, that's a fair point. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Yeah. Anyway, nothing on the DMT wall. Gonna go below Blink the Goron, check Crater Wall, Crater Ferry, Crater Grotto, and then we can check DMT Wall, and we can check DMT Ferry as well.
And we can check Maze.
And Maze, yep.
I would not be surprised to see at least one big chest back here.
Same. We're running fairly low on checks we can do. We've seen all of field except Hectite Grotto at this point. And we have a bonus song, so we could go to the GTG area, but it's really not that much there right now. Hammer doesn't do anything on that side except hammer rocks at these items.
Yeah. I mean, you have the first, what, 2 checks in GTG? 1 on each side?
Not even. We don't have the logical bomb bag for BMOS. A hammer does not explode the BMOS now.
Okay, so we have 1 logical check that you can do.
We have 1 check in GTG, we have the 3 checks in Valley, and that would be it with crossing the Valley Bridge.
Can you imagine, though, like 1 check in a dream? That's what it just happens to be what the logical progression is.
I mean, random will do that to you sometimes. Din's Fire on Link the Goron is going to be useful later, but that does not help right now. That is actually 100% worthless right now.
Yep, Link is a muggle. That is a piece of heart on the crater.
Oh good, that's apart from mine. Best Valley Dins has, you don't have to casino for it later. Okay, yeah, true, that's really about it.
I didn't get a good look at it, but the only things that look like that are Rito's letter and pieces of heart. And as we have Rito's letter already, there's no way I could possibly mispeak that again for the 4th time on stream.
Yeah, it happens. Alright, we're gonna see Adult Lake for now. Nothing there. Yeah, and Nath planted the bean earlier and did not check, hasn't checked field yet. I think Nath might go to field after this, but the Adult Lake duel was in field open grotto, which is why he hasn't seen it. We know that he does. Ooh, big shots for Alfalfa. Forest is path to Bongo. Okay, game.
Okay, game.
And there's a claim check. Well, we'll turn that in.
A convenient claim check.
Yep. That's a really convenient spot, yeah. So we can go see what that is. It is always a guaranteed claim check in these settings, so it's not an always hint. Hovers, okay.
Yeah, you're running right back in there.
Oh yeah, you're gonna check DMT Ferry, maybe check the hit, and then go straight back to go look at Fire Temple.
Oh yeah.
Magic and Forest Temple? Yeah, that seems most likely. Or First Logical Bomb Bag is also a possibility. We also don't have Nocturne.
Yeah, but...
Spirit Duel. Could be a Kokiri Sword in Forest Temple to get Nocturne after Trading Song check.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah, and Well's foolish, so it can't be anything locked in the well behind Storm. Well, actually, Forces of, or Shadows in front of Storm, so that wouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
Math going back adult here, and unfortunately doesn't have that gold scale, so doesn't have a hammer.
No, but does have Bomb Bag. Song of Time and Crater increases the odds of Nocturne being a little silly.
Yep.
we're gonna just go, well, look at and hope and see if we can't beat fire at this point. It's plainly obvious that our hammer is locking Forest Temple somehow, although I think our hammer is just locking the seed, period. So it doesn't have to be in here. Because we have no logical explosives. Hammer, among a lot of other things, Hammer is currently our access to Crater Grotto for hovers, for fire access. There's also Song of Time here, which itself currently does nothing, admittedly. Hovers gives us Fortress Root. Well, Fortress is full, so that Fortress Root doesn't matter. Interesting collection of stuff so far.
Okay.
I mean, yes, Hammer is very possible to get Claim Check to get hovers to pull first hook and fire. We don't have that much available. We have no ranged weaponry for Spirit Temple, and no Strength 2 for Adul's side. Lab was our hammer, so that's why it's path.
I'm missing a sound check. We have Prelude left. OOT
Prelude, Ice. Prelude, Ice, and what's our last one is? Minuet.
Oh, Minuet. Okay, we haven't been there as adult. That would make sense.
Yeah.
That Nocturne and Ice. I don't think it's on Prelude.
We'll see. I think Minuet is most likely vanilla. Ooh, big chests, and Sorry Song is path.
Oh, that would make sense too. Hey, well,
and Light Arrows is required, but that does not help with anything right now.
No, it does not.
Bit of a baby big chest there, to be honest with you. It's not the paperweight, but right this second you'd really like something a bit more useful than Light Arrows. Small key here, which it had to be. Well, yeah, not had to be, but it was likely small key. Good chance of small key here, forgot we had gotten one earlier. So there's only one other check currently available. It's in fire here, as we don't have logical explosives, so the open chest here has to be for a key for us to continue, otherwise we apparently need to go take this hammer somewhere else.
Yep.
And good question from chat, does Alfalfa have any chews left over? Don't know.
That is a key. We can continue to climb.
Okay. Yep, we do have a logical strength, and we have a Goron tunic, so those are... So it is in logic for us to keep climbing, at least for now. And Alfalfa has 7 shoes left. And that's gonna go get those hover boots now. Our runner's having somewhat different equipment right now here. Alfalfa has got a hammer that Nath's missing. Nath has explosives that Alfalfa doesn't have.
Yeah, but the hammer is gonna 100% keep Nath from climbing at all in fire.
Yes. Well, actually, depends if Wolf is a key or not. There's only one key in the basement.
Oh. Well.
If Wolf is a key, Nath will be able to continue in fire.
Yeah, but how's he going to kill Wolf?
Oh, good point. He doesn't have a hammer. Never mind. Right. Thank you for the reminder. Oops, that was the thing I was missing. Yeah, never mind. Scatterbraining. You beat Wolf for free climb for sure for Alfalfa.
Right.
This is kind of unfortunate here for Nath. Or you're just gonna not beat fire at all right now. Okay.
That's a choice.
I'm a little surprised.
Because the game logically expects you to have a bomb bag by then. And with the amount it chews, doesn't want to do slow Volvagia fight.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It's a little annoying to get back here, though, is the thing that would perhaps be putting me off a bit. It
Right.
looks like instead we're going to see Adel SFM for Nath, and I'd expect the same for Alfalfa, perhaps into Ice next for both runners. Which is in logic here, with it Saria Song on this side, but then we have ZL and Letter for Ice.
The other thing is Alf doesn't have the tunic either.
Oh, right, yeah.
So can't stop the timer even if he wants to.
Good point, forgot that. You're gonna see the Edel SFM song, which I strongly suspect is a vanilla minuet. If not, we've got some funny song placement logic. And nope, that is Nocturne minuets. So... Minuet I don't believe can be in Ice at this point. Bolero should be in Ice and Minuet on Prelude because I don't think Sari's would be Path otherwise at this point in time. I don't think Sari is locked either Letter or ZL. Or the scales turned in that Letter. Because Letter was on Dompe Ray's, ZL was in the ranch, and our scales were Rockarita, Memory Cave, and Town's Chickens.
Yep, those are all the same sphere. They do not block each other.
Yep. So yeah, Minuets and Prelude.
Yup. Either that or the seed is actually broken.
Which would be impressive. Well, yeah, the reason why we introduced that Minuet is on Prelude is because we know about all the other song checks. Burning Cat is dead. Storms is on OOT. Serenade is on Composer Grave. We have the child songs besides Storms.
Don't tell them all of our secrets, then they're gonna figure them out.
Look, of the only song checks we hadn't previously known about, we were down to Minuet, Prelude, and Ice like we were discussing a few minutes back.
Yeah.
Well, we just saw Minuet, and it cannot be Ice Cavern, because otherwise Saria's song is a cow.
That is a piece of heart at the bottom of the fountain.
Yep. That's yeah. Oh, I guess I see what you mean now, Shannock. There's a lot of places to put Kokiri Sword that is Saria's locked. Correct. Also, nice icy waters hint.
I'm in the middle of this game.
It's actually pretty nice for Alfalfa, who doesn't have Iron Hint.
Right.
I get Alfalfa not wanting to spend like, what, minute and a half to get Iron Boots when he already has Gold Scale and it's probably not required Water Temple. And it's certainly not required for Icy Waters. Nothing on Fountain Fairy either, which doesn't surprise me.
The only thing water could potentially be blocking this seed is something physically in water.
That is correct. Because Burning Cack is dead, it's a hard container. Nobody's going for it ever.
And even then, both of these runners are skilled enough to know Gold Scale water that it won't matter.
Unless Longshot's in water, which would be, as well as the required item, which would be...
Right. The only way
Longshot itself cannot be... Longshot in water itself would not be enough to be required, because Longshot doesn't really rock anything this seed.
The only thing that irons will really be a pain point for is exactly Toilet. And if we get down to Toilet, there's a different problem with the seed.
Yes, indeed. Right now, though, we're getting Ice, which is going to be nice. It is Bolero by process of elimination. I think both our runners know it's Bolero at this point, too. One of the closest to PG paths was in River, so they both know it's Saria's song. So they have to know this is Bolero, but it's nice to get back to for Fire Temple, because neither runner... Well, Nath can't beat Fire, and Alfalfa would rather not beat Fire right this second, so it's nice for both of them to have it, and you want to check the chest at the end of Ice anyway. Yeah, Deku is Path to Baronate, so we'll need K-Sword to get ranked. That is correct.
Or a really, really terrible long shot.
Well, it has to lead to Rang directly or indirectly.
Right.
And yeah, Deku locks Burning Cack. Not that it matters, Sparkle, since Burning Cack is a heart container. It's not just mostly useless like it would be if it was Sun Song or Song of Time. Burning Cack is actually just 100% dead. Pictures for Nath here. A nice cavern. Alfalfa close behind. Is our first logical bomb bag. That checks out. With that said, that's actually not. There's an interesting point, though. By the way, that is not bomb. That is not hammerlock.
Nope, it is not.
Which significantly narrows down what that hammer's path for. In other words, I think we're going back to Fire Temple for it.
That's a big rock sword.
I'll pick that up. Probably might as well. Yeah, we're gonna be climbing fire probably first hookshot in there, which is probably a little gross. It would explain why there's no wolf paths of any kind for because hover boots. Because if it was hammer for a bomb lock check, hover boots might have gotten hinted as a fire path instead. But oh no, actually it could have been because shadows of stone. So yeah, yeah. So fire having it first touch on fire would very thoroughly explain why we have no wolf path because hookshot locks 2 of our 3 stone dungeons. Well, actually, both of our stone dungeons since we started with a ruby. Rain is a little on the fritz for me. Sorry, chat. Whoops. Probably I'm not quite this scattering without game mechanics. But this will be first bomb bag for Alfalfa, which I'll probably quite appreciate here.
Yeah. I would imagine Alfalfa's going to immediately warp after completing Eyes and go finish off Fire.
That would make sense, honestly. Because now Alfalfa knows it's logical to continue in Fire. Right. He doesn't have the Goron tunic, he doesn't really care, and he can do fast trans on both. Alfalfa knows the Goron tunic's available. This bomb bag is going to tell him that, tells him that he knows hammer isn't bomb locked, and so this hammer path is going to have to most likely be something in Fire Temple. It could be hammer rocks. It's really about the only thing it could be for.
Yeah, there wasn't anything on Fairy Fountain.
No, it could be the GDG Hammerlock chest technically, but we have no access to that at all right now. Logically.
You are correct. Because even with logical explosives, we can't cross that gap.
We can't go from right side, and we don't. We can add a logic left side to get over, and we don't have a bow to go from left side, even if we could add a logic before master on left side. Okay, Bolero and a bomb. Bolero bomb bag and BGS out of ice. Not a terrible call, honestly. Yeah, Hammerlock check and GTG would have to be a bow, basically, or something that locks all bows. Nath is gonna, on the other side, not having the hammer is going to reverse to GTG, which I think is not a bad play for density from his perspective. There are a couple things in logic over there with the well, GTG Stalfo's chest is one of the few in logic check, and BMO's checks are 2 of the few in logic checks for Nath, and it's also just density for him. I hope Nath finds something useful here. We'll see. Song of Time is in logic with hovers. Right, so that does open up a couple checks on right side as well. Good catch.
I mean, what's Nath What's Nath gonna get out of this?
This is a possible location for logical. Well, let's see. What does this get us? Probably not first hookshot. There could be a bow over here. Magic would be fun.
Right. So what? You're checking the first 2-3 checks in GTG plus the right side of the maze.
And out of logic left side, I think, for both those chests, possibly.
Yeah.
I think because you're here. I mean, it's a little slow and it only unlocks Wolfo's chest right now with this item equipment.
Right.
But, Nath just doesn't have a lot else to do. Not 100% sure why he skipped Ocarina Memory Game. It is kind of a slow check, but also this has also just been a rather bottleneck start. There may have been a bit of a brain fart when he went back to Lost Woods the second time for Skull Kid than Lost Woods Bridge Scrub, I think, there. Nothing on the crate. But unfortunately, it is looking like, I think Ath was hoping to get it as out of logic as it dealt with Hookshot and Irons, but it's looking really likely that the hammer is hard locking both Hookshots and behind Fire Temple at this point.
And no shock. Going back to fire.
Yep, that makes perfect sense for Alfalfa. So we'll get a clear answer as to our fire path, or well, hammer path, which is, we suspect, most likely a hookshot. Or two, even.
That's a full container.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna pick it up because that would kill the death warp and we don't need it anyway.
Right.
These runners are more than capable of doing everything in the game on 3 hearts, never mind. Well, Alfalfa is 6, Nath is 5, just one sufficient. Yeah, Alfalfa is in fire because it's a required dungeon. It is entirely in logic at this point, and it's path. It's behind a path hammer, which Alfalfa knows has to be for one of a very limited number of checks since Bombag was not hammerlocked.
Yep, and Valley Hammerlocks is big.
Okay, that could be the path then. Although we won't be seeing it for a bit, because Alfalfa's obviously going to be in fire for the next while, and Nath doesn't have the hammer. And Nath won't be having the hammer for a solid minute.
No,
but Nath knows that. But Alfalfa is going to full clear Fire Temple, and then if he finds nothing, we'll go over to. And he knows he has to go to Hammerrocks. Which, if it turns out that fire is a bust and it is just a first hookshot in Hammerrocks, it could be a time loss for Alfalfa. Although right now Nath is just kind of behind anyway, so Alfalfa has some time to do things like full clearing and fire when it's not necessarily required. This troll hole sucks for Alfalfa. Ouch. And does miss the one cycle.
Unfortunately. Troll hole.
Not too surprising. Yeah. That one's just unfortunate RNG.
And burn.
Yep. Smokey on the Beamos chest of GTG, that's wolf down for Alfalfa. What is that on the freestanding of GTG for Nath?
Smokey. And by small key...
Well, there is actually a small key and a big chest here on the right side, but that was actually a heart piece.
I saw silver, okay?
You're fine. Song of Time is... That's a very interesting spot for hover. No, that's hammerlocked, because you have to go bomb back for right side.
Yeah.
No, Bombach's
we
available
haven't-
and I'm scatterbraining. So, and hovers are not hammer locked either. Interesting.
They're bomb locked.
So, hammer locks all bows.
Yeah? Oh, that just got Nath back in this. Because now he's gonna sequence break out whatchamacallit.
Hammer, yeah, that's actually really big for Nath.
Unfortunately, how does he get back to... I guess it doesn't matter, he's gonna go fire. Brain.
Yeah, he's gonna go fire. He's gonna... Someone needs to mark Blair on the tracker for him, but he's gonna go do lab dive, chasing his path scale and path hammer, or chasing his path scale and path lake, and then go fire temple.
Oh,
but that is big. That is really lucky for Nath.
Well, and
was not expecting that by any means, but that is a huge find.
Nath is gonna go check hammer rocks again before going and checking the rest of 5.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. He has to backtrack
he
a
has
bit.
The info.
Yeah, he's gonna know hammers the path here in a second.
Right.
And he's right nearby. It's a little slow to backtrack, but it beats going back. It beats climbing Alfalfire if you don't have to. So.
Right. And to be honest, though, oh no, he's gonna go fire.
Or not. I mean, that also is fine. I think I would have gone hammer rocks, but this is fine as well. Beatable dungeon, chasing your path hammer. That's fine.
Because for all he knows, that's a pack of bomb shoes. That's really good bait.
Yeah. Or like a paperweight or something.
Right.
Or could be like an extra bottle.
There are a lot of things that chest could be. But given how early that boss key is, I would imagine we'll see hammer rocks before a full fire climb. Oh?
Yeah.
We got a biggie up on the upper maze.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Fire to forest makes sense too. Yeah, it does, Pyra. Well, that might be Radnath's route for this. Is going to be beat fire, go forest.
Yeah, the only problem is I mean,
beat fire, look for a bow, go forest temple after that.
Yeah, because otherwise, what's you're not going to find a bow in forest.
No, forest itself is
not a unlocked bow one.
No, because forest itself is getting into forest temple is not remotely hammer locked.
Right.
We are also not bow locked out of fire. I am not surprised. We are hammer locked out of fire temple without a bow, but we're not bow locked.
That is a small key on the map chest.
Yep. But it makes sense that this fire temple is not bow locked. Otherwise, well, it would have to be hammer rocks. If I didn't know, I don't think there's much else available.
Let's see, Neru's love. Show me Neru's love.
Strength 2 is not the first thing I expected. That hookshot on the right side GTG is our first logical adult ranged weapon to go adult spirit with.
That is true.
Okay, game, we're going Fire Medallion Spirit Temple, I guess. Potentially. Or we could go back to GTG, which would be good for Nath if he goes over that way. Or not good. It'd be handy for Alfalfa. Well, Nath's already been there, but Nath might go back. It would be good for Alfalfa to go get the hookshot from right side GTG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is there's 2 keys on child side spirit hinted, which means that spirit's almost certainly child locked. at least some of it logically, and we have 0 child ranged weaponry. No slingshots, no boomerang. Boomerang's most likely behind the Deku tree, because Deku's path to Baronade, so Slingshot, if it is Spirit Temple, Slingshot would be our first logical child spirit access for those keys. It's not on Compass Chest. The more I talk about it, the more I think it's likely to be the GTG silver block that's behind Strength 2. Highest Goron does have a big chest.
Good thing we have Song of Time.
Yep.
That saves having to run around.
There was a key on Compass. I don't remember what shortcut was. Bomb shoes is not the thing you wanted. But I guess they're oh well, alfalfa can't do Pierre. That's so we can't actually know if Hammer Chest is a small key item. Actually, shortcut was a key, which I think means that both Hammer Chest and Pierre are items. Yeah, Pierre could have a bow. I think if this is nothing here for Alfalfa, GTG would be a very reasonable next play for him. Knowing that Adult Spirit there's very little logically available in Spirit Temple. Alfalfa has no adult. Well, there's actually nothing available in Spirit Temple right now for Alfalfa. He has no ranged weaponry for either age. And he can go towards GTG, check Valley, Hamrocks, and the 2 freestanding items. And there is some stuff already in logic in GTG as mentioned, plus just out of logic in places.
Yeah, hookshot definitely in logic, and then that opens up the strength 2 checks.
Yeah, well, I was talking for Alfalfa, from Alfalfa's perspective right now, because he doesn't know that hook's there.
Right.
But even in Alfalfa knows he can sequence break left side with the Floor Master and a ground jump to get a GTG leg room, so. Hammer Chest is a big chest.
Is climbing all the way up required today?
No.
Bait. Now the question. Nope, now it's going back in. Okay.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
You're here, you're following your hammer.
Yeah, I think I still might have gone back to Hamrocks after Hammer, but it is a bit of a hike to get back to Hamrocks from Lap Dive, so it really either makes sense. Alfalfa is going to dip Battle Spirit here, which is also fine.
I think Nath is probably going to bail, though, sooner, just because he knows where the hook's at, and it very well just could be, what you call it? He'll see his strength 2 and just be like, okay, I'm done. It's strength 2.
Yeah, there's a real possibility of that for now. Okay, Alfalfa does hit the switch with Bomb Shoes. This is not in logic. Alfalfa cannot get this chest, but can peek what Compass Chest is.
That checks in logic with a bomb, though, isn't it?
Bombing switch, maybe? I always forget. Nothing on the Compass Chest, so... yeah, that might be a where's the Spirit logic gone to? Document gone up to?
I got the world files here. We'll just check it.
Oh yeah, it's bomb bag does count for ranged weaponry for Boulder's chest. Whoops. And it's nothing at any rate, so moot point. Alfalfa playing Prelude, interesting. Yeah, so Alfalfa looks like going to take a run to Child Spirit first, which is a play here. Does know there's 2 keys on Child side. Gonna out of logic if it with a Bomb Chew. We have the Warp Songs to make this fairly fast, so it's not the worst play. It's certainly an interesting one.
Yeah, Nath, free the Goron. Yeah.
Yeah, not really surprised there were no keys on Adel side Spirit there.
Now it's getting trolled by these boulders.
Nath actually needs to be a little careful here. He's on half a heart.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
That's plenty. Nope. So he's got plenty. There's a heart refill in this room. Oh wait, no, this is not the room. I thought this was the bridge.
Nope. Alright.
Okay, yeah, see, he's got plenty of health. What are we worried?
Anyway, so Child Spirit here for Alfalfa. Interesting play. Not 100% sure what, because from our perspective, obviously we know there's a hookshot in GTG. From Alfalfa's perspective, it's a little bit trickier. Knows there's 2 keys on Child side. Knows that Strength 2 is currently looking like her path. Doesn't know there's a big chest and hammer rocks, which is something else that we know about. I think I could have definitely gone either way. I think I might have preferred GTG myself in Alfalfa's position there, but both make sense. I think I'm inherently a little biased since we know about the big chest on hammer rocks and that hookshot.
Right.
Now, speaking of Strength 2, here it is for Nath. Who is going to continue?
Maybe to check Pierre, that would make sense, because Nath's thinking, man, I got this hook shot, and I'm gonna bet that Alfalfa did not go out of logic to GTG.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is the item, this could be big.
Yeah.
But I would expect a bail after this.
I'd assume so.
Unless Nath
Like,
thinks
GTG
that...
has to be on Nath. Nath might clear just because he's here, but it is kind of slow to clear the top half of fire. We'll see.
And maybe he just thinks that this is just pure bait for Strength 2.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Okay.
Child Climb is... Here was nothing? Yeah. Child Climb, just 2 small chests for Alfalfa. We are fire locked out of Spirit Temple. No keys on Adult side, 2 keys on Child side, no keys on Child side. We are fire locked out of Spirit. I don't know which or both possibly of map sunblock has a key, but we are fire locked out here.
Oh.
Sunblock has to be our 3rd key then, and Gun Shoes 8th. Alfalfa thinking about sunblock and then remembering it's just a key doesn't. Perhaps remembering I assume they peeked right side, the right hand. I have no clue what it was, but Alfalfa, presumably thinking he does. I'd assume it's not a big chest, so Alfalfa doesn't need to go rush over that way. It isn't going to probably spending the time to get the key as child. Alfalfa is going to get the second bomb back here off Colossus Ferry. Yeah, Alfalfa realized. Yeah, Alfalfa realized that was a key on sunblock and he doesn't need it, so that was the safe way. That was why he reset. Okay.
Gonna get a second bomb back here.
Yep, Nath about to find out that this is, what was this on highest score on again? Oh, more choose. Which doesn't help.
The question is, now does he know? Or is he gonna climb
I think if you go all the way up here, I think if you go all the way up, you have to go for Hammer Chest.
Yeah.
So now the runner is really going to lose time in Fire Temple, basically.
No.
Both runners full clear, which makes sense given the information they each have. Well, I guess this is Adult Spirit into GTG for Alfalfa. And I assume Nath is Nath might go GTG first, but Nath is gonna follow suit with Requiem after this. He's gonna see blue fire arrows and highs and hammer chest, roll his eyes at that, and leave.
I would imagine a serenade into Rapona's song and GTG.
Maybe.
Because you want to check Hammerocks first.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because he knows that that is very likely just a bow at that point. And just
yeah, you want to check that before like Room or Spirit Temple from Nath's perspective.
Yeah. Because I think what's left in we have K-Sword still missing. Maybe a Mirror Shield.
K-Sword, Mirror Shield. Well, we have magic. We're missing magics.
Right, but magic has to be in what you call it at this point, right? Forest.
Most likely, yeah. Unless something really silly is happening, but magic should be in forest. Good point, forgot that. So yeah, Mirror Shield's a possible. Well, Mirror Shield itself wouldn't do much because we know that Spirit's magic locked.
Yep. So not a whole lot of.
Alfalfa doesn't know that, but we do. Alfalfa knows that Spirit's magic locked, but Alfalfa doesn't know that its bow that hookshot's available in its bow behind strength 2. Yeah, I said I think Alfalfa's also realized that Spirit Temple is out of logic. He should maybe go find logic, perhaps,
well,
or not.
And bow doesn't have to be behind strength 2. Bow has to be behind hammer.
That's true, right?
Unless it happens to be strength. Hammer leads to strength 2, which leads to bow. But it doesn't have to be that. It could just be the Valley Rocks.
Yeah. And hey, Kale, something really silly in my OTR? Never, ha. For anyone just tuning in, we're in for an interesting collection of patterns to see, basically. Our required dungeons today are Stone Forest, Stone Shadow, Shadow Medallion Fire, and Spirit Medallion Jabu. Very, very rarely for OOTR, we've gotten 3 Phantom Cannon paths, 1 Baronade path, and 1 Bongo path. In a nutshell, basically, at this point we've figured out as a restream that Hammer has to lock all those. Currently, about the only thing Hammer hasn't locked is Strength 2 and Fire Temple. This big chest with Hammer is the other big consideration right now.
Is it bait? Or is it a bow?
It's long shot, and...
Boy, of all the things I expected to see,
that was
not it. Boy.
Water is now on the table for foes. Yes, it is. They really didn't want it to.
And what is Nath doing now with a long shot?
Okay, nothing on left hand, and I think that's junk on the right hand.
The key.
There's key on right hand. So we're long shot locked out of Spirit Temple. We're also magic locked out though. We're magic locked out of Spirit. That's irrelevant. But yeah, we know that Colossus' Path to Phantom Cannon for Saria sung. Minuet has to be on Prelude. By process of elimination with that path in, basically. Minuet is on Prelude, which means that the Kokiri sword is behind the Forest Temple somehow. Probably in Forest, or possibly in Shadow, because Forest is also Path to Bongo, which at this point has to be for a magic meter. Lake Hylios, we also had Ranch Path to Phantom Cannon for a scale, which is required to get your hammer off the Lab Dive for Lake Path to PG. Hammer has so far led to a Strength 2 and a Logical Long Shot. Which one is the path and for what, we don't know at this point. Nath doesn't really care a whole lot right now, and he's just gonna go to Forest, which makes sense, or do as much as Forest as he can in direction. Yeah, nothing says that any of our bows are bow locked. We know that all bows have to be hammer locked as a restream. The rudders don't have as much information as we do. They're each missing some bits of info. But Mirror Shield is irrelevant because we know magic is presently at least. It might be relevant down the road, but that would be some very spaghetti stuff. Spirits are relevant for now because magic is in or behind Forest Path to Bongo, and Spirit is magic locked. It's also long shot locked, although that one's less important due to the magic lock. And unless magic is in the courtyards of Forest, I don't think we care about that much right now.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Because we don't know that magic is or isn't. We don't know where magic is. It could be behind Spirit Temple, Forest Temple. Sorry, it shouldn't be a Mirror Shield Path to Bongo in Forest. Everything mirror locked is also magic locked at this point, but. Because it was specifically Key 3 in Spirit Temple that was magic locked. Not Key 4, not Key 5, the third key, which means that pretty much everything in Adult Spirit is key locked, is magic locked. Yeah, Alfalfa needs to hopefully... Well, Alfalfa might not even need the long shot, to be honest. He's gonna play Bolero to go to Forest Temple, which... Yeah. Well, yes, Alfalfa needs bow. Which, that might be an issue that Alfalfa gets a Valley Rocks hookshot first. But we also just don't know, because we'll see if the Forest Courtyards have anything for Nath. Hookshot's right. The first hook is right side GDG KLO. Not hammer locked. It is logical long shot for a hammer if hammer's path for that. Yeah, GTG right side is available with bombs from Ice and Song of Time from Crater, because we had hovers on Big Goron and a bomb locked claim check.
Nope.
And they started with folk song, so that was not an issue on that front. Yeah, Alpha skipping GDG probably could be definitely a bit of a situation that'll bite him, although it's not all that hard to get back to with Reverse Wasteland, and you do have to do the Forest Courtyards at some point. Yep, very nice strat there from Nath to get on top of the door frame, making it look a lot easier than it is. That one can be very finicky to get. Nath doing so with no issues.
That's big.
Ew.
Is this magic?
Is this a very out of logic bow?
Oh, that would be funny.
It is magic. That checks.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, magic there is expected.
But Fair Wars is on the table now, for now. Also by doing that.
Yep. Nath's gonna go take a look into Shadow.
Not be able to.
Yeah, we'll see.
He is on
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you don't need long to get up there.
Yeah, I just don't know how much I don't know how much Alfalfa knows or likes to do 3 key fourth, as Alfalfa's very good, but he is a keyboard player.
Right.
And 3 key fourth is a little fiddly, but we'll see one way we'll see one way or the other. We'll see if Nath gets a bow at a Shadow Temple, because he could find one over here. He's also just gonna flow clear Shadow in one trip, but there's a real chance he could find a bow-locked bow in here somewhere, because that magic is logically bow-locked. 3 key fourth is not an in-logic trick.
Yeah, plus with long shot and scarecrow, you can just get over the gap to get a bongo.
Yep. Yeah, Nats now has quite a decent amount of checks here in Shadow to find a magic what would be a bow locked bow. Alfalfa, we'll see if he does 3 key forest. Otherwise, there really wasn't anything in the courtyards. This scene has proven to be quite interesting. I was honestly worried for Nath when he didn't get that gold scale in Child 1, but it turns out that getting that hookshot from GTG as his first might be a big payoff today. 2 magic and forest wouldn't make sense, Kalo, because forest is directly past Bongo. Both magics being available in forest in the same sphere would not make it path. Unless your first bow is in Shadow, but we've seen everything that's not bow locked in forest, Kalo, or most everything, technically. We haven't seen bow chest, but I think I'm not sure we have enough keys to get. Chance says there might. But it would have to in that case, it would have to be magic on vanilla bow chest to go Shadow for a first first magic on vanilla bow chest to go Shadow for our first bow, which would be unlikely. Yeah, Alfalfa is leaving. Playing Prelude. Let's see where he goes next. And Alfalfa had 0 small keys there. I wasn't tracking forest keys all that closely. Where's Alfalfa going next? Going Child here is interesting. Bowling?
Bowling, pick up iron boots, maybe?
Yeah, I think Alfalfa might be a bit suspicious of GTG at this point. And nothing unfolding. No, not Harrow Castle Fairy 2 makes sense. Forgot we haven't seen this yet. Nothing on Harrow Castle Fairy, which from our perspective, makes sense. There wasn't much that could have been there, like maybe like a slingshot or something. But we know, but Bo couldn't have been there. Mirror Shield there wouldn't have done anything anyway. Not a lot left that's available for Alfalfa to find in someplace random, honestly. We know Saria's Song has to lock the key sword, so there's not a lot of things that could be.
Oh, this makes sense. 10 skulls.
Oh yeah, that is Skull. We'll see the count here. Skull 8 for Alfalfa.
But then again, what is it? Like, what would 10 be? A mirror shield?
Not much. There's not much that it could be that would be relevant. Funny game! Our only available bomb bag was an ice cavern, I guess. Yep. K-Sword can be in Shadow. Magics, we know Magic is Forest locked, and K-Sword has to be Saria's locked for Saria's to be Path and Colossus. This, Kayla's saying in chat, I think Alfalfa might be in a I don't want to go GTG because if it is there on behind mode, possibly. Yeah, for chat, process of elimination, we know from hints and just found songs that Saria's Song, Desert Colossus Path to Phantom Canyon for Saria's Song. The only technically 2 song checks we haven't seen or gotten hints for are the Prelude and we now know, but we've known for a while that there was at a point before we went Ice Cavern that it was Prelude and Ice as the 2 outstanding song checks, and it couldn't have been Ice because we have logical ice access without Saria's Song. So, we've since figured out that we've just seen all these checks. It just has to be Minion on Prelude because we've seen all the rest. That we've known that for quite a while because of a process of elimination. The song on Minuet was Nocturne. So that's also why all of Nox Shadow is Saria's locked. It's Saria's locked just because both magics have to be in or behind Forest Temple, but yes, that too.
Single pottery. I mean, this could be anything. It could be a boat.
Can't be a bow.
Boat. Ship. Boat.
It's nears. But this couldn't have been a bow because it's not hammerlocked at all.
Oh, I know. I was saying boat the entire time, not a bow. I know it's
oh,
not a boat.
Boat. I misheard you then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
It poses a wallet. Funny game.
Okay. Well, there's your other Path to Vault being taken up by a hand.
Yeah, oh, I mean, Goron Tunic was also hit. But yes, game is funny. Yeah. just barely nighttime still for Alfalfa, though he has Sunsong, so it doesn't matter for skulls anyway. That's 9. And here's 10.
What would 10 be? Paperweight at this point? I mean,
Paperweight. It might be like a slingshot or something. This pretty much can't be anything useful. Depending on where our bows are at, while it might be tunic/wallet locked, very likely, honestly, Shanna, given that we know our hammer has to lock all bows. We haven't seen a big Poe bottle, although a big Poe bottle on 10 skulls would be kind of funny, I guess.
mm-hmm. But that would only have implications for Water Temple, though.
Yeah, pretty much. It also wouldn't really matter. Yeah, I thought about finally doing check-ins. Didn't need to earlier because had both scales, and at the time irons didn't lock a whole lot, but now running lower on checks makes sense.
And
Shadow's been a snore for Nath.
Manager has her last key.
No, Nath has
Or
all
no.
keys.
Never mind.
Nothing on 10 skulls. Yeah, 10 skulls was nothing as expected. And nothing on the floor master, so off to Bongo. But yeah, Shadow was a bust. We had a bomb bag in there. I think that was it.
It's not a total bust. You have to do this regardless.
Oh yeah, but it's good for Alfalfa that it doesn't unlock anything new for now.
Right.
Okay, Bongo can still have a bow. That is true. Alfalfa on the other side is gonna go follow Irons and Hookshot into Water Temple, which he has hover boots to do some of the long shot lock stuff in here, but does not have the actual long shot. So we'll see what this turns out to be for Alfalfa. I'd be really curious to see specifically the Boss Key, Darklink, and River. Oh, Boss Key and Darklink chests. We can't do River chests for Alfalfa right now, because those are the most likely most likely to be long shot lock checks that Alfalfa can actually do. There's a key on Morph that logically locks those things. There's a key on Compass here.
Well, that was kind of neat.
We get to do, by the way, Footless Bongo, which is fun with timing on the hookshot. BGS at least helps.
Mm-hmm. Missed it by 1.
Yeah.
Got one hand. There's the other one.
That is a key on cracked wall.
Yay! And that is Bongo down for now. Controlled by Spiky Boys.
There we go. And map chest is another key. And Bongo gives us a slingshot. Funny game. Funny.
That is funny.
That is logical Spirit Temple access, so it's pretty much worthless since we've seen about everything that's not mirror locked for Alfalfa.
It could also just be a target on the blitz.
It could be, if that is our only available slingshot, which would be very funny if it is.
This probably reverse again?
No, Adult
Oh,
Spirit first,
okay.
which is also fine. I mean, from Nat's perspective, it's kind of a toss-up between Spirit and GTG.
But this makes more sense if you're going to go for the toss-up on it, because he's going to get locked out very quickly.
Yep. And from his perspective, there's more that Strength 2 lock here, too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on the central bow target for Alfalfa. This is also one of the rare scenes where Alfalfa genuinely cannot do central pillar. Not without opening the bottom door. He doesn't have a bow and he doesn't have dins or magic to light the torch.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true.
It's really, really unusual to get into a water temple with no way to light the torch for central pillar, but that's where Alfalfa's at.
Yeah.
It is a very unusual edge case for it to come up, but Alfalfa actually can't do the torches chest in water for the same reason. First bow on torches chest would be mean. It's also entirely. Well, first bow on torches chest, no, because we don't have Key on Dragon. We don't. Yeah, it's Key on Dragon. And Alfalfa deciding he is logically locked out of here, which he is. That checks. Yeah. But first bow on torches chest, we don't have access to magic. KLO is the big problem there. Is our magics are bow locked.
Yep. And that magic Nath has is 100% hard bow locked because it's behind 2 of the 4 big bows.
Yeah. Okay, bow chest and forest maybe could have first magic. I'm not sure if we had keys available to continue. I saw Alfalfa was 0 when he left it. I mean, there's a very real possibility that there are 2 magics in forest. I just think they would both be bow locked at this point in time. I thought I had 1 key when he left. Maybe. It's been a little bit since he left, so I'm not sure. Yeah, Alfalfa's gonna check Tectite Grotto on the way to GTG, and Nath is reversing to GTG as well here, so we'll see both runners meet up again in GTG, although Nath's gonna both get there first and has already beaten the guards and done the first couple checks, so Nath has a bit of an edge here. That's interesting, and Alfalfa was ahead in the early game due to having the earlier hammer, but now Nath has the distinct lead due to the difference in hookshot order. Nice Green Rupee and Tectite.
No, get Greg! Rescue him!
Can Bo be behind Deku Tree since we have Slingshot now? We can't get into Deku Tree after you, that's the problem.
Yes, it can be. No, well, actually, there could be an out-of-logic one if, K-Sword's on shoot the target in the woods or something stupid. But it can't be the logical one.
Well, K-Sword has to be sorry is locked, which, yeah.
Yeah, because, well, yeah, and Slingshot sorry is locked.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was in Shadow.
Yeah, but Shadow's not in Logic's the problem.
Well, right, because it's magic.
So yeah, it wouldn't be a logical bow in Deku, but it could be an out-of-logic one.
Right. There's a key up there.
Yeah, I think Alfalfa might just feel behind, and that's why he went water before GTG, because it was definitely an interesting play, but... See, it's kind of being just weird anyway. And that's the thing too with chat comments, is that if we do a B1 skip enable as a trick in these settings, so you logically don't need a slingshot. Arc in the Woods, though, is slingshot locked. It's the only thing slingshot... well, it's not the only thing. It's one of the only things slingshot locked in this seed. Currently, Spirit Temple is slingshot magic and longshot... slingshot magic and longshot locked. remaining and all the remaining checks in there are slingshot, magic, longshot, and mirror ship block specifically due to this key layout today. There is a key on right hand and a key on sunblock.
Yup.
And we've seen everything that is not mirror shield locked as well, just in general.
Very nice.
Nothing on the Wolf's chest.
Alright. What is it? Is it a bow? It's probably a bow.
There's a very good chance there's a bow back here, yeah. Well, it's not the one on the back.
Oh,
It
look.
is a big chest
Maybe it's a
here,
bow.
which...
Oh,
Nope,
oh.
K-sword. We might be going Deku Tree
There
after.
could be a very logical first bow in Deku Tree.
Yep, that would make sense at this point. There's long shot for well, logical first hookshot. Now Alfalfa knows there was a hookshot available there. Deku was path to Baronade. Possibly, yeah. There's a possibility that it's just bow path and Deku. Could be boomerang in there and bows and Jabu.
That's a hell of a spaghetti right there.
Oh, actually, the Deku path to Baronade cannot be the bow because bow locks Forest Temple, which is a medallion, which is a stone, and Deku's a medallion. Not Deku. Well, Deku's a medallion too, but Jabu's a medallion. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yep.
And paperweight. I think that was a key hammer locked in GTG, not that that mattered.
Nope.
We don't have a lot of keys. I think that it's very likely that toilet's a key. I didn't get good enough look at the maze to know what else is there. It could be bow locked keys, but we still have a bow, so it doesn't matter a whole lot at the moment.
Wait, how did Alfalfa get to that? Okay, never mind.
Left.
Alfalfa
went right side.
Right side. Okay, I was like, are we really not gonna check the strength stuff in here?
No, Alfalfa went all the way around right side with long shot, which isn't something you see as often. I do remember. I think I remember someone like in the OTR Discord asking for help or logic for something or another because I think they're. I think. What was the goofy thing? I think it was a dungeon ER seed where you had to go. Child
GTG.
Wait, but no, I think no, I'm mixing stuff up. I think the issue was that. Yeah, it was Child GTG because first hookshot was on right side.
Yeah, that makes sense. Walked you down as a kid.
Yep, because you couldn't go around left side, and that was the way over there. Bomb shoes and Deku Tree. I think that might be our last pack. I forgot to run them down, but I know we've seen quite a few at this point this seed. We're missing a Skull Mask, and I'm also 90% sure it's irrelevant.
Show me a boomerang.
Yep.
It's a boomerang.
That is utterly unsurprising. Deku Tree is sorry is locked. Yes.
Yep.
For Tunic. Yep. Yes, we are in. Yeah, as a race team, we're in. Where's our bow for no mode? Which is really unusual. Almost an hour 50 in, because there's 3 bows in the game. But they seem to be in some exceptionally silly spots. This could be it for now. I think.
Bow?
Yep, there it is.
That's just go mode.
That is go mode. Also, what a spot for a first bow. Yeah, we are just playing. That is go mode for Nath. Alfalfa needs to go do shadow. Is a shadow temple behind is the biggest thing here.
Yep.
And Nath realizing he doesn't need to continue in Deku Tree. It's not required.
Right.
Yeah, Alfalfa betting he didn't need to set foot in GTG, betting him quite hard. Wicca went water before GTG and Spirit too. Did a lot of Spirit.
Move.
And Alfalfa's chasing back into Water Temple, which we know unfortunately. I mean, there might be a bow in here, but there's not much left he can do back here. He still doesn't have a bow or magic to do quite a lot of stuff in water, honestly.
Yep.
It's kind of unusual to not be able to light the torches in Water Temple, but Alfalfa can't light the torches in Water Temple. No magics, no bows. And that's kind of just how Rando goes sometimes, I think, for Alfalfa, is just, in the early game, I think Alfalfa had the hammer quite a bit earlier than Nath, but Nath, trying to, never got the scale off Ocarina Memory game, kind of got railroaded a bit into GTG relatively early to get the hookshot out right side, just under the hour mark is his first hookshot. Which then got him his hammer, and gave him the info on where his long shot was, because he peeked the big chest and hammer rocks, and then Nath also did 3 key forest. I'm not entirely sure that, because Alfalfa's a keyboard player, I'm not entirely sure if Alfalfa knows the strat, because it's a pretty finicky trick even on a keyboard, even on a controller, never mind keyboard. And Nath it just so happened to be for Nath that there was a magic meter on checkerboard chest, which just opened up the rest of the game up for Nath today. Also, hey, Zelga-san raiding with a party of 14. Hey, Zelga and raiders, thanks to the raid. We're an hour 50 into an Ocarina of Time Randomizer Speedgaming Live online tournament match here between Alfalfa and Natheirean. And Natheirean is in go mode. Alfalfa is kind of gotten random today, unfortunately, I think is about what's happened here. Alfalfa peeked the central pillar chest there. I didn't actually see what it was.
He's going for it.
Yeah. Must be boss key with a big chest then. Chat says it was big, thank you.
Strength 3 maybe?
Could be a
mirror.
Double defense. No, I'm pretty sure that was first logical bow in Deku Tree alongside the boomerang to go beat Forest, to get magics, to beat Shadow, to beat the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have actually been the bow, because that is bow slash, because the central pillar is actually effectively bow locked, essentially, right? I think actually Compass Crackle, Map Dragon, and Boss Key Chest, depending on where the fifth logical key is. Yeah, there's a very good chance that's just straight up bow locked, which is kind of funny. Because we know all magics are bow locked. And I think, yeah, bow target was dead. I believe Torch's chest is our last key. Because you either need 5 keys or a bow or magic and dins to get the central pillar chest on top, just to get into the central pillar. And we know that all magics are bow locked. And I believe by process of elimination, based on all the other checks we've seen in Water Temple key logic, that Torches has to be our 5th key. In other words, yeah, Central Pillar is logically bow locked there, so it could have been a bow. It did not end up being so, but it could have been one. Water key logic really doesn't come up much for the Central Pillar, but hey, that is a thing today. Darklink could be a. Darklink could be a. Is either bow or is either an item or the boss key. And if it's an item, it could be blue. River Chest bow will not help out because he doesn't have a bow. You get River Chest. Nobody pays attention to water key logic until you get a bow getting past the crack wall. Oh, that one's fun, yeah. Because of water levels. Very unusual for that to come out, but it can. Darklink's also just not cooperating here. There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that is not a fun fight on the keyboard.
Yeah, and there's boss key. So there's an item on River Chest and an item on Morpha. By process of elimination with water key logic. For anyone who doesn't know, particularly our raiders, Water Temple is kind of like basically kind of like the pod of the LTDPR. Zelga up there, who Raid does, is an LTDPR runner primarily. He does a lot of LTDPR. Kind of like the pod, where most things have 0 or not locked behind keys at all, and then there's a handful of stuff that's 5 key lock, and there's a couple, and then Torches and Central Pillar are usually just light the torches mode until logic gets screwy. Because either you need most things in water are either you need 5 keys or you don't, and then otherwise it's just can you physically get to that chest.
And that is a marinade down for now.
Yep.
Nice regrab there from Alpha. And Morpha is... $20 on Morpha. Nap, Dip, and Shadow to FW back to Forest.
Yep.
And that was Amy down.
Yep. Yeah, the big pose, the pose in forest being named after the sisters from Little Women. I only remember the fourth one reliably because that's
Shut up, Meg.
Meg, but I do not remember the rest with any reliability.
Joelle, Beth, Amy, Meg.
Yeah, I remember the names, I
that
just
order.
don't remember the order.
Or in this
I mean,
case, we're calling Meg or me first.
Yeah, I mean, the magic didn't actually do much for Nath and let him get a useless progression shadow out of the way earlier. I guess Alfalfa not wanting to go GTG is kind of what really bit him, but yeah.
And rather going and clearing water than clearing Deku. Because even
that didn't help. Well,
yeah, even then, you know, Deku is going to have your boomerang, and it could just easily be bow locked behind boomerang. This is a nice forest, or a key forest layout. We know that you have to twist the hallway, because the next one is for sure a key.
And here is that move for Alfalfa, which is go mode for him. And this is Serenade into Jabu. Unfortunately, has most of Forest Temple, all of Jabu, and all of Shadow to clear.
Yep, and Shadow is the longest of the three of them.
Yep. I think that's just kind of unfortunate for Alfalfa. Had a bit of an early lead, but was hoping to make some riskier plays there, looking for Water and Spirit. Did not pay off, and putting off GTG just really bit. And that's sometimes just how Rando be at times. As Nath, I think, got lucky, honestly, with that hookshot early, too. If it hadn't been there, would have lost a fair bit of time to Ocarina Memory game.
Also, second hookshot being where it was slightly unexpected.
Yeah, I was not quite expecting a long shot at Hammer Rocks.
Yeah, it could be like a bow. Like, that would make sense. What is that?
Right? Alfalfa at least did get the read to leave Spirit Temple eventually, knowing that it was pretty much locked behind his go mode, essentially, after a point. Magic and Longshot locked, it's like, okay, get out of here. But yeah, that was not helpful.
It's a key!
What a surprise. I think Nath might have slightly lost count there, because or maybe just forgot, because it has been a while since he did the courtyards, but he could have counted keys to know that wasn't it, but with multiple dips of Force Temple quite a ways apart. Like, his first time in here was more than half an hour ago at this point. It's been a while.
Yeah. And has completed a dungeon and a half.
Yeah. Although needed to be big info anyway, I guess. So. Yeah.
That is true. I keep forgetting about that. You actually have to kill the sister.
Yeah. And that's a point too from Chad, is the other issue with Alfalfa getting the hookshot at Hamrocks is he just thought that was the path, which made it much harder to get the read on GTG, which, yeah, good point. Alright, Phantom Cannon here for Nath.
So Nash should be finishing about a 212, 213 to full climb.
Yeah, because it'll take a minute or so to be PG, and then it's like a 6 to 7 minutes for the Cannon's Clower.
Yeah. Nice quick kill on Gammon. BGS makes that fight so much easier than normal.
That camera pad was super confusing with how many items to get the bow overall. Yeah, the bow was kind of late this seed in logic. Well, both is and isn't. K-Sword was on GTG Lake Room, which is locked behind both strength upgrades. And Idle Anju in the Upper Maze of Fire, which is locked behind quite the assortment of stuff. Needed hammer, needed hammer, needed hovers, needed all sorts of things to get over there. Yeah, there's surprisingly little lock behind bow can make for awkward seeds. You've had seeds where the post 20 steps deep. Yeah, that's true as well. That's one of the interesting things too, is we all thought it was hookshots behind the hammer at first, and we're surprised when the hookshot just showed up on right side GTG, and then it's like, wait, it has to lock all bows. Where could the bows be? And I think our other two bows are probably just sitting in cannons at this point. There's very little left for them. Or on Foolish HP8. If the bow in deck was the one and only available bow, which I believe it most likely is.
Yep.
For those who don't know, foolishes and paths are interesting for items with multiple copies. If for items where each copy has different logical implications, like for strength upgrades, or in this case we have the scales. Strength, long shot. It depends on how many is available. And for paths, like because both skills were available, it had to be gold scale path and ranch. It couldn't have been possibly for letter turn in. And those things also cannot be no copies can be foolish for such items because they each have logical implications. But if you have an item like a bow, a slingshot, magic, bomb bags, where all copies are functionally identical as far as logic goes, having a second one gives you some extra ammo and that's it. You can have one of those in the foolish area if one copy locks all others. So in this case, it's looking very much like the bow in Deku is the only available bow this seed. So that means that the other bows could have been in Foolish Well, behind OOT, behind Forest, or in Foolish Fortress.
Specifically on it.
Yep. Could be someplace like the top of Spirit Temple as well, behind the Mirror Shield, wherever that is. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch of items in Candy's Castle.
Yeah. My IGC would have been my guess as to where some of the other bows are at. At least one of them's probably here in IGC.
Yeah. Alright, and run cannon now for Nath.
Get your GGs in chat for Nath.
And then it's going to be GG's Nath going to take the win and move on to quarterfinals here to face Sponge with the official race time.gg time of 2:12:38. That is a dot quit from Alfalfa, understandably. GG's to him as well. And we are joined by Nath. GG.
Alright, thanks, GG's.
That was some big brain plays there, my friend.
I think I played pretty badly, but I mean, it works out, I guess.
Yeah, so we were discussing a little in race time because this was on a 15-minute delay, so Nath has been done for 15 minutes in real time. But yeah, you never did Ocarina of Memory Gate, Nath.
I mean, there's a time save, right?
Right. Yep, that was your gold scale.
Yeah, I was honestly kind of worried for you in the early game there because, yeah, that was gold scale, which locked Hammer, And we figured for the longest while that Hammer just locked both hook shots, honestly.
Yeah, memory game would have probably been like a near last location. I was kind of putting it off till like at least slingshot.
Yeah, because Alfalfa got that relatively early in Child 1, picked up the hammer, um, took a look in Fire Temple, decided on like 5 hearts, no wallet, no, didn't get the tunic from Child 1, and the 2 go and clear up a bit more DMT, and then went back into, and then ice, and then went back to fire after that. So you guys were both in fire around the same time. But you got fortunate that you picked up the hook shot to get your hammer. So it ended up paying out a bit, but we were kind of worried there in the early game for
Yeah.
a while.
Part of my reasoning for kind of skipping it too was that like at the time, if the seed felt like everything was just gonna like chain together at some point, and so I was kind of trying to like figure out like, okay, well, there's a scale on Lon, it's gonna give you this into this into this, and like I did like, so I feel like with at least SGL settings, I feel like it's better to try to ride the jet and then like go backward later than it is to like be too safe. I just lost too many seeds with like these settings to like just playing too safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the other thing too is like the GTG hook was your first hook, which wasn't hammer locked, obviously. Earned a bit of a interesting from us as we then figured out it had to be all bows that were hammer locked somehow, which was funny. And then, but Alfalfa's got his first hook shot from hammer rocks, and so he thought that was the path for a good while, which did not help. I mentioned this in Ace Time, but he would end up going both water and spirit first before GTG.
Yeah. I'm sure it was pretty obvious. I have not done bongo without a bow in probably like a year. It feels like I've done it with just. I should have done it with like my usual strat, like when I have no bow, no hook, like for like boss ER, because I know how to do it with just sword, but I try to do it with hook because I had a hook shot and it's just miserable.
Yeah, you don't end up doing bongo late too often without a bow too often, since bows usually aren't your combo at 2 hours in.
Usually not.
Like there's 3 of them. Usually, one of them shows up, but apparently not today. First and only available bow was in the Deku tree.
I am glad I caught myself before finishing Deku. I was about to start clearing it. I was like, oh yeah, just do Deku and then go do Jabu and then go do Forest, and I'm done. Then I kind of like remembered like, oh wait, this isn't required. One of those scenes where there's so much going on, and like you're trying to like figure out, you know, triple pass Phantom Ganon, like literally all 3 pieces are for the bow, and you're just going insane.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a wait. Why do we have? Because we saw one Phantom Ganon path for Colossus, we saw one for Lake Hylia. Okay, sure, and then we saw one for Ranch, and it's like, wait, why do we have 3 PG paths game? Because that's really unusual with how low.
It's the split win con. It's because a lot of those items, like there are path to get your bow, like can't be hinted because of
but
the
part of it too
bridge.
is that because Forest Temple usually, like the things you need are generally hookshot, strengths, bows, you know, a song, and there's multiple of each, so it's unusual to get 3 paths. But we figured out pretty quickly it had to be that Hammer had to lock a stone somehow, because we got a Baronade path, and there pretty much had to be a Bongo path, so it had to be that Hammer was... Either it had to be locking something, but that was just a, that's unusual mode.
Yeah, I was really hoping to find a locked bow in Shadow. It just did not show up.
Yeah, the 3-key forest definitely paid off for you a bit there. No, just getting out to get Shadow done, having that out of the way, even if it didn't necessarily find you much of anything other than lights, I guess. Shadow was kind of a bust.
Yeah, I was almost not going to do it. I'm like, really the only thing I'm doing there is for like the path item, and like it's probably magic, but it could be something else, but like it's unlikely. But I'm like, you know what, it's not a big deal. Like, what am I losing, like 15-20 seconds if it doesn't work? So
Yeah.
and then it worked out really well. So
yeah,
especially though it was magic, I got to put FW in the green Poe room.
Yeah, it puts you a significant time ahead just by making the trick, like getting the trick first try, and then getting magic just put you in a very good position.
Yeah.
A trick is finicky until you learn the timing for it. Like it's just a thing you practice, and like once you know the timing for the rolls, then it's pretty free. But it is definitely not like a easy trick to just like glance at and like, oh, I'm gonna get this first try every time. It took me quite a while to get like really consistent at it.
Yeah, you did it. You made it look easy there. Alfalfa didn't go for it. I'm actually. I do. I'm not. Alfalfa's a keyboard player, so I honestly don't know how easy that isn't on keyboard because I know tricks can be quite fiddly.
I don't. I have to imagine it's not terribly hard because the inputs like the roll like direction is not precise. It's more of the timing because you need to make sure your second roll gives you like the at the end of your hover to get you like the furthest distance. Because if it's mistimed, you'll either fall short or you will or you'll get like the weird like roll at the end of a hover where you just like fall just like straight down.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was concerned like with Shattuck mentioned that maybe that magic was magic 2. I'm like this could be like magic 2 and like Bo is in shadow. Because at first I thought oh Bo just gonna be in shadow after he find like magic somewhere, but then like the path in forest didn't make sense, so it was a weird seed.
Yeah, I checked the spoiler log because that was unlocked after the race was over. The other magic was in the well. We were discussing a little bit about how major items could be in foolish locations if all items are functionally identical, and it's relevant to the magics because there was a magic in the well. And your other two bows were you remember that? But you remember the slingshot on Bongo?
Is it target in the
As a
woods?
target?
Target in the woods has one bow, water trial, and the Target in the woods is one bow, and the well has the other.
Wait, so that means the slingshots are also locked by Bo. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yes, the slingshots are on Bongo and water trial and light trial.
Oh god.
Actually, wait, hold on. If there's a bow on target in the woods,
You need magic.
oh, never mind. Yeah,
for
because
shadow.
it's magic locked, right? Never mind. I was like, I was thinking for a second. I'm like, well, that's like long shot locked. But no,
Oh,
it's
and
not.
strength 3
That's
is an animal
incredible.
spirit as usual.
And it's mirror locked, right?
Correct, 4 Armos. The mirror shield is on the Boss Key Chest of Spirit Temple.
Yeah, I did get a bit lucky that I got key locked in spirit. It did save me from having to like do all. As I was gonna do all spirit and then GTG, but it was not worth it to age change to do spirit. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go to GTG first. Like, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure Bo is in
Alfalfa
Deku just because there is no
did.
Deku path or no another path like that makes sense. I figured that it was gonna be in Deku.
Yeah. Alfalfa ended up going back childs for child spirit and back adult. Didn't actually have any child ranged weaponry, so that was just trying to avoid GTG perhaps a bit.
That's another reason why I didn't do a lot of spirit early too. I was like, where are our child weapons? Our projectiles. I'm like,
Yeah, because you had the hint early that there were 2 keys on child side, but you had no child weaponry for
I had
basically the entire
2
game.
shoes, I think, or 1 shoe when I was there as a child. I'm like, I had no range weapon. Like, I'll come back.
Yeah, you had no
Okay, where it worked
logical
out.
ranged weapon. When Alfalfa didn't have Alfalfa ended up having the interesting case of discussing water temple key logic for a bit for Alfalfa 2 without a bow or any way to light torches because magics were bow locked. But
Yeah,
there's just
water was on my mind, but like, because I was technically hammer locked for a few checks in there, but it just felt really terrible. Like, no one ever wants to go into water temple. Let's be real.
yeah. I think for Alfalfa, perhaps trying to avoid GTG a bit and following what he thought was the hookshot path, and it just didn't pay out today, unfortunately for him.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think with the order I found them in, it made a lot of sense that I knew about Bo earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's also why I went GGG. Like, you start with opponents, so those checks were in logic pretty early, so decided to just go with it.
Yeah.
It's a little unfortunate that ice was only for the bomb bag, but I was worried that scale was path to turn in letter and then get like hook shot or bow or something in ice.
Yeah, makes sense from your perspective. We knew it was gold skill into lab dive because of we saw both skills in child 1 for between you and Alfalfa there in like the first half hour, I think.
Yeah. I was actually considering going back to child to do ring chest because I was like, well, it's either that or something, or like maybe it's even gold skill in Jabu, like some weird nonsense. But luckily, I found a hook shot to do lab dive out of order or out of logic, and it worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, match against Sponge next will be interesting. They're also a very good runner. I mean, everyone in this tournament is a really good runner, so.
Yeah, Sponge, of course, a longtime veteran of the community and a formidable opponent. Good luck on that.
Thanks. I hope it will be a good show. I think it will be. So, I think every match this one, every match that remains on the schedule still is like a really good watch if you can.
Oh, for sure. Because our other quarterfinal matches are What the Hells versus Retropolis, Seize versus Alexis, and then we have one last round of 16 match left between Volk and Exodus, the winner of whom gets Flea, so that should be fun. But yeah, good luck on that, Nath. Your scheduling thread will be going up now to race with Sponge. And yeah, good luck on that. And yeah, we'll see you for that, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks. I get to get ready for a Francophone tournament match tomorrow where we have basically everything on. We have Skulls on, we have Key Sanity on, we have Song Sanity, we have Regional Enemy Souls.
Oh yeah, you have a whole lot of
Yeah, so if you want to watch it struggle for 5-6 hours, you can come stop by our stream.
Good luck on that. I'll be commentating a different Francophone match a bit earlier. That yours is at a bit of an awkward time for the Francophone restreamers.
I imagine it won't get picked up. No one wants to sit through a 6-hour slog, let's be real.
It also starts at 5 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. French time, which does not help.
Yeah, not a great time for them, especially when you know it's going to last a while, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, anyhow, good luck on that. Versus. Wow, brain aeronaut there. English, thank you. But yeah, please do give both of our runners a follow today that we featured here, alfalfafield and Natheirean, to my co-com new IT guy, and thank you to Shannock and Milkweed for doing the tracking today. Let's see, coming up ahead on the schedule, that is it here for us for OOTR today. It would help if I can spell. Let's see, coming up for matches, we have tomorrow, we have at noon Eastern, we've got Exodus versus Vogue. That'll be at noon Eastern. We also have a match on September 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern between What the Hell's Happened in Retropolis. We also obviously getting Snap versus Sponge and Seize Alexis up on the schedule soon as well. But we are getting towards later rounds of the bracket here. This quarterfinals are best of one, semifinals and finals will be best of three. There's still quite a bit to left. And then there's plenty of other things going on as well on the Speedgaming channels. So if you want to check that out, there's all kinds of games going on. I believe, yeah, there will be an Area of Sorrow randomizer starting up here in about 15 minutes. So we'll get off the air and let them get on with that. But thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.